If you've been dealing with bladder leaking, pelvic pain, painful intercourse, prolapse, C-section scar discomfort, or back pain, that just won't fully go away, and you've tried exercises, you've tried stretches, maybe even therapy that focus on strengthening, but something still feels off, this is where the conversation really needs to adapt and change. What we're going to talk about today is why so many of these symptoms persist, even when you're doing everything right, and how radial shockwave therapy actually improves the health and responsiveness of your body and tissues, and why combining that with the John Barnes approach to myofascial release creates a level of change that most people have never ever experienced in their own body. We're going to break down exactly how this applies to each of these conditions so that you can start to understand what your body actually needs, and more importantly, why this isn't about pushing harder or doing more. It's actually about giving your system the right input so that it can finally let go, reset, release, and function the way it was designed to. So radial shockwave therapy is one of the most effective tools I have used for pelvic floor dysfunction and chronic pain, because it changes the actual environment of the tissue so that your body can finally respond the way that it was designed to. When you do combine that with the John Barnes approach to myofascial release, the results go even deeper, because you're not just stimulating the tissue, you're actually allowing it to unwind and reorganize at a much more profound level. Radial shockwave delivers acoustic or sound waves through fascia and muscle to increase blood flow and stimulate cellular activity, also improve mobility and reduce that protective tension, which helps to restore the health of restricted or irritated tissues. Then, myofascial release, John Barnes version, comes with sustained intentional pressure or holds that allow the fascia to release at a cellular level, giving your nervous system time to down-regulate and your body the space to unwind or let go of patterns that have been held for years. For bladder leaking, this matters because many women are not weak. They're dealing with tissue that is too tight, not coordinating with pressure in the system. As shockwave improves tissue quality and myofascial release starts to restore the length and adaptability, your pelvic floor can finally respond the way that it was really supposed to. For pelvic pain, where the body is often stuck in a guarded, sort of protective state, this combo helps both soften the tissue and then calm the nervous system in your body, so the body no longer feels like it needs to tighten and brace. With tailbone pain, for example, after falls or even childbirth, there's often a deep fascial restriction through the pelvis, pelvic floor, and surrounding structures. Using shockwave to stimulate the tissues followed by myofascial release to fully allow unwinding, that can restore movement and treat isolated tissues that can't get there enough on their own. Painful sex, this is an area where we combine the two. It's incredibly powerful. Sensitive tissue cannot tolerate stretch often, so as shockwave improves circulation and elasticity with myofascial release, that allows the tissues to start to lengthen and reorganize. Tolerance to the pressure and intimacy always starts to improve. With prolapse, while we are not changing structure directly, we're optimizing the entire support system by improving tissue integrity and reducing that compensatory tension, so patients often feel less heaviness and more control. C-section scar pain, that's a huge example where the pairing shines because shockwave helps break up adhesions and stimulate healing. No matter how many times it's been cut open, myofascial release gets to those deeper restrictions to fully release and integrate with the rest of the body. Back pain is a common one, especially when it's connected to pelvic imbalance or fascial tension. Improving tissue quality and then allowing full fascial unwinding can really reduce strain on the spine and create more balanced movement overall. There's a common belief, though, that one modality alone is enough, but the body does not work in isolated pieces. It responds to layered, intentional inputs. So this combination of radial shockwave and myofascial release addresses both the physical tissue and the nervous system in a way that creates lasting change. When the tissue is healthier and the system is no longer stuck in protection pattern, patients don't feel just temporary relief, they feel a shift in how their body moves and functions. If you've been told your symptoms are something you just have to live with, or you've been given strengthening only without addressing restriction and nervous system involvement, there is another way to approach this, and your body is capable of healing when given the right combo of inputs. I hope this helped open a thought process